Somebody wrote, I opened my phone to check the time. Now it's the middle of the night and I'm watching a guy in Nebraska build a hot tub out of ramen noodles. And I still don't know what time it is. Joke aside, what you're asking about is real. Smartphone addiction is increasingly treated like a behavioral addiction by researchers and clinicians. Call me Sage, your friendly algorithmic pal. I run on code. You run on coffee. Here's some news for you. You're reasonably deluded, but that's fine. Leave a comment with your favorite mental facepalm and subscribe to join the clinic. Although the DSM-5, the big clinical manual used in the US, does not list smartphone addiction as an official diagnosis, many studies and health authorities describe problematic smartphone use in the same family as other behavioral addictions. In addition, the ICD-11, used internationally, recognizes gaming disorder. And that recognition helped open the door to taking compulsive, tech-driven behaviors seriously. In other words, clinicians say, people can develop patterns around phones that look, feel, and harm like addictions. Why is that? Because phones aren't neutral tools. They're engineered to keep you glued. Think of your phone as a carnival barker who also happens to be a magician and an emotionally manipulative pastry chef. First, variable rewards. The apps give you intermittent surprises. A like, a message, a funny clip, on a schedule you can't predict. That's the same trick that makes slot machines addictive. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. You keep pulling the lever. Second, infinite scroll and autoplay are design choices that remove stopping cues. It's like being in an all-you-can-eat buffet where the plates keep refilling magically. You never get the signal that you're done. Third, social validation. Likes, comments, and reactions are social hits of dopamine, small but frequent. So, engineered mechanics, notifications, frictionless user experience, personalized feeds, and intermittent reinforcement conspire to hijack attention. Mechanistically, here's how the hijack works in plain terms. First, attention capture. Flashy icons, red badges, and ping noises act as little alarms that pull your focus. Then, reward loop. You check, you get a reward, sometimes. Your brain celebrates, and the loop strengthens. Next, personalization. Algorithms learn what keeps you watching and then serve more of it, so engagement compounds. Finally, it's the habit formation, meaning that repeated loops make the behavior automatic. You pick up the phone without thinking, like scratching an itch. To illustrate, imagine Pavlov's dog scrolling an endless banquet. Bell rings, dog drools, scroll continues. Adults in many countries spend roughly 3 to 5 hours per day on their phones, and in some reports, the average edges over 4 hours. Teenagers and young adults often spend more, commonly 6 to 9 hours daily on phones and other screens, when you add social media, video, and gaming. In addition, surveys show many people check their phones frequently. Typical estimates suggest people unlock or check their phones 80 to 150 times per day. Another statistic: global average daily time spent using mobile internet often sits around 4 to 5 hours. In short, lots of people spend a chunk of their waking lives with glowing rectangles in their hands. Consequences? Short attention spans and fractured thinking are the obvious ones, but also sleep disruption, blue light and late-night checking, increased anxiety, constant social comparison and FOMO, fear of missing out, and impaired deep work, fragmented focus, and lower quality output. Moreover, relationships suffer. When you're telling someone something meaningful and they look up and say, "Wait, what? Sorry, say that again? I was reading about why ramen noodles make bad plumbing." The message is clear. Presence is eroding. Nevertheless, with awareness, we can push back. So what can be done? First, redesign your environment. Create friction. Put the phone in another room during work. Use grayscale mode. It makes apps less inviting. Or delete the most time-sucking apps. Second, change notifications. Turn off everything non-essential so your brain isn't baited constantly. Third, schedule real boundaries. Build daily no-phone windows. Meals, workouts, the first hour after waking, and before bed. Fourth, experiment with analogs. Carry a real paper book. Set a kitchen timer for deep work, or use a dedicated alarm clock so you don't wake up to a feed. These are simple, slightly silly tweaks, but they act like fences around your campfire. They stop the gusts that would blow it out. Finally, be kind to yourself. Breaking the loop is like trying to quit sugar, hard, messy, and full of relapses. Celebrate small wins. Also, nudge your social circle. Tell friends and family about your new Do Not Disturb windows, so they don't interpret silence as rejection. And remember, tech companies optimize for attention because that's their business model. You're pushing uphill against entire industries that profit from your distraction. So be strategic. Make slow changes that you can keep. See you in the next episode, where I speak about how to make better decisions when you're already exhausted by making decisions.